So when you invest a lot of time and energy in order to achieve long-term goals, do you ever get discouraged or fed up? Do the long-term goals seem really far away? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to remain inspired and enthusiastic while achieving a long-term goal so that you enjoy the journey and not just the destination. My name is Olivia Pinto. I help freedom seekers create abundance and harmony while living the life you truly desire. So if you are a freedom seeker and you would like to have access to valuable information, tips and tools in order to create abundance and harmony in your private or professional life, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell next to it so you'll get notified every time I post a new video for you. We all have goals, whether small goals, big goals, immediate goals, long-term goals. We all have goals that we need to achieve. But before I go into long-term goals, I would like to look at something very important. I would like to look at something that is really inevitable, and this is the life we live in. You see, in the past, when there were some news, then people from the same village would gather in the village center and someone would come and read the news to everyone. We would wait for the news to come to the village and so on. So the whole body-mind had a lot of time to adjust and to take in the news and to adapt to change and so on. Nowadays, everything is so instant and fast and ever changing that we are really stimulated and triggered a lot. And the result of living in this endless option environment, the result or the outcome of living in this modern and digital age has created two mentalities that we need to look at if we want to discuss long-term goals. The very first mentality is the upgrade mentality. We are constantly upgrading everything. We're upgrading our mobile phones and our computers. We're upgrading our tablets. We're upgrading every single device, electronic or electrical, and we are constantly upgrading the apps that we have in our devices. We upgrade the operating systems and so on. We get more and more used to have smart things, right? Smart TVs, smart phones, smart homes, smart cards, smart elevators, smart cars. Everything becomes smart identity cards, smart passport. Everything becomes smarter and smarter. And the thing is that while technology advances so fast, I mean, if you look at a computer today or a mobile phone today and you compare it to the mobile phone that came out 5 or 6 years ago, it's like the prehistorical age. It's so ancient, right? And so it's almost like a vintage phone, whereas what are 5 years in a person's life? So what happens is that the technology advances so fast and we constantly have to adjust and upgrade, but our brain, the human brain, is not designed to accumulate so many changes. The human brain is not designed to upgrade itself so fast. So there is a certain gap between the adjustments that the brain and the body-mind in general need to do in order to really be in alignment with our external, extra overstimulating environments. So on one hand, we really want to enjoy life, and on the other hand, life is too demanding. So by default, just by living in this period of time, in this digital age, in this modern life, in this smart life, by default, we're more prone to being more stressed out, to feeling more overwhelmed, to being more exhausted and tired, to feeling more drained. So this is one mentality that is the result of our modern life, the upgrading mentality. The second mentality is the microwave mentality. You see, we got so used to have everything instant, instant, instant. We want to be rewarded and gratified and see what the things that we want to see here and now. Where are the days where cooking a good homemade dish over 4 hours in the stove and, you know, really cooking it slowly, slowly, slowly to feed the whole family, the kids, the grandkids, the cousins, the neighbors, all this is gone. Nowadays, so many people think that cooking means buying something ready and putting it in the microwave. And guess what? If it's more than 2 minutes long, it already feels like, oh my God, it takes forever. So we're so used to have everything instantly. So what are the consequences of a microwave mentality? Number one, we are used to have immediate results. Number two, our attention span is very, very, very short. We cannot really focus on something that takes too long. We jump from one thing to another. Some people call it the attention deficit syndrome of the modern age. Number three, everything has to be instant. And number four, we lost patience. So why is this relevant to long-term goals? Because if on one hand we're bombarded with the upgrading mentality, having to adjust all the time to upgrades and to changes and to new things and to expand and learn and focus and adapt and adjust, and at the same time we want everything here and now, and we lost the patience to wait for things that take longer to take. Obviously, we have no patience for long-term goals, and obviously it's much easier to feel frustrated and to feel even desperate or lose faith and believe that we can really, really reach those long-term goals. And even if we don't lose faith, we may not enjoy the process because of all those things. So why is this so relevant? Because it has something underneath that happens, something very dangerous. And this is that it triggers in people a sense of failure. If I decided to do something and I cannot really do it, then I'm a failure. It triggers that core belief that I'm not good enough. It triggers the belief, the self-destructive belief of I'll never get there. Or if I'll get there, it's going to cost so much that might as well better to compromise on the way. So that's why people have difficulties focusing and being patient, and they give up and quit so easily. And if you are an achiever, for example, if you're a sports person, or if you are a business person or an entrepreneur, then you are a high achiever, so you really like to achieve your goals. So you run and run and run in order to achieve a goal, and as soon as the goal is reached, you already think of the next goal and focus on achieving the next goal. Sometimes it's not even as soon as you reach it, but even before you reach it, you're already focusing on the next goal. And therefore, you're not really enjoying the achievement. You're not enjoying the accomplishment. You don't really savor the moment. You're already thinking of the next one. And that creates not only self-destructive belief systems, but it also creates a lot of stress on the system. And unless you learn and apply different techniques to let go of the natural stress that accumulates in the average body-mind in modern ages, like relaxation or meditation, unless you learn to balance it, you will be constantly stressed out, and you may even pay with your health. And the most ridiculous thing is that regardless to the goals that you have, they have, I have, we all have different goals. But isn't the ultimate goal behind all our goals is to really be happy? And can we be happy if we're constantly rushing? Can we be happy if we're not really enjoying what we achieve? I witness this every single day. I see how people that are trying to achieve long-term goals are actually losing their patience, losing their self-belief, feeling dissatisfied, losing their enthusiasm. And what do? They just give up and quit. because they're used to the 2-minute microwave mentality, all of a sudden having to wait until something happens or having to invest more time, energy, work, money, anything until you achieve the results seems way too far, unrealistic, impossible, and ridiculous. But is it? So how can we remain inspired and enthusiastic while focusing on long-term goals? The answer is very simple and very easy to do. To replace the microwave mentality that obviously works against us, at least as far as long-term goals are concerned, and replace the microwave mentality with a mentality that is way more supportive. And a mentality that is way more supportive is a mentality that I learned by myself to do, and I love it. And it's a mentality that I like to call the small wins mentality. And what does that mean? The first thing you have to do is decide on a goal. And when you decide what your goal is, especially your long-term goal, you have to be as specific as possible. You have to write as many measurable things as possible, like exact amounts or exact outcome that you expect, dates, and so on. You have to be very, very specific. Okay? Then the second part is that you have to make an action plan. In other words, you have to go backwards and you have to say, okay, in order to reach this goal, what do I have to do? I have to do A and B and C and D, etc., etc. And then you break your action plan, you break it down into smaller steps. So instead of focusing on just the last outcome, you break it down into steps. You make a decision to approach every step as a game, not in the sense that, oh, I may lose, I may win, it's just a game, but approaching it as a game in the sense of, oh, we have something to play, you know. It's something with a joyful, lightful energy, even though you may be extremely focused and committed to your goal or that particular step, but you still bring a more childlike attitude. You bring a sense of fun with it. And it's a decision and it's a commitment to bring more fun. Then a very, very important step is to share it with someone, either one person or more than one person. And this is very crucial because once you share it with someone, it makes it more real. Once you share it with someone, your level of commitment goes up. You see, if I just say, oh, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that, these are internal talk between me and myself. But if I tell someone, I made the decision to, it's a statement. As soon as you state it out loud, and especially to someone else, you'll be amazed to see how so many things support that. The universe really supports it. And you can take it even one step further and make this person or those people your accountability partner or accountability partners, so that you have to report to them if you're doing what you said you would, what are the dates. In 25 minutes, I have my accountability call. So I'll make sure to finish the recording so that I go and do my accountability call that I do every single week. And it's very, very important. It's also very enjoyable to share with your accountability partner that you managed to do the tasks you wanted, or if you were challenged during that week, you share about your challenges and they help you to go back into the path you chose and so on. So it's very valuable to have an accountability partner. And then, of course, the juice of the juice, the dessert of this meal, is to decide in advance what are the small wins. In other words, every step, remember we broke down the big long-term goal into smaller steps. So every single step, even if it's a tiny, tiny step, you decide how to reward yourself by doing this step. Okay, so you can reward yourself with something that you buy to yourself. It can be something very, very small or something more and more expensive. It depends, of course, on your budget, on your commitments, on your circumstances, on the goals, on the tasks. But it can be really something symbolic. It can be buying yourself a flower and you put the flower in the house and this flower signifies, yeah, I reached my task. It can be something more expensive that you buy to yourself. You say, when I'll reach A, B, C, I'm gonna buy myself, boom, something bigger, something that you wanted for a long time and you didn't allow yourself to really buy it. But it doesn't necessarily need to be something that you buy. It could also be something that you experience. For example, you can say, I'm gonna take 3 hours off and I'm gonna take a nice walk in this park or on the beach, or I'm gonna spend quality time with this friend that I haven't seen in a long time, or I'm gonna just, you know, take a bubble bath with smelly oils, or I'm gonna go for a run, or I'm gonna read this book that I haven't read and I meant to read but I never had the time to do it, and so on and so on. So it's either something that you buy or it's an experience that you want to have, but you decide in advance, when I achieve this, this is how I will reward myself. And then there's something to look forward. It's like you get a prize for achieving that little step along the way. So you have those small wins and small wins and small wins and small wins, and all of a sudden the journey towards the long-term goal achievement becomes more fun, more inspiring, more enthusiastic, more rewarding, and you get to buy and experience things that, you know, you didn't allow yourself to. So it's really, really cool to do it this way. And the last thing is, don't forget to celebrate it. So celebrate it, share with people. Oh my God, you know, I bought myself a flower. I know that it doesn't sound so much, but this is so amazing because it's been already a whole week that I didn't eat white sugar. It's been a whole week, or it's been a whole month that I'm consistent with my exercises. It's been a whole month that I'm actually doing the practice I wanted to do and I never got to do it. So you can share it with your friends, with your family members, with your colleagues. You can share it on social media. You can share it with your accountability partner, obviously. So end the task with a sense of celebration. So throughout the task performance, you come with an energy of playing, and when you achieve it, you reward yourself and you really celebrate before you start the next step. It really impacts the performance, the outcome, the results, and the way we feel within this small step. So it's a very, very useful thing to do. And boy, am I celebrating. I celebrate each time I reach a small task, and I celebrate it in so many ways, and it's just, oh my God, it's really, really rewarding. It's fun to do it this way. I also find that not only it's fun and it's productive and efficient, but it's also very easy to relate to goals when we break them down into smaller steps. However, the key is not just to break them down, but to celebrate every single step on the way. So we are in a constant winning, 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 winning mode. And remember before I said with the microwave mentality, we tend to feel like I'm not good enough, I'll never get it, I'm a failure, and so on. With the small win mentality, you're constantly winning. So there is no way you can feel like you're a failure or like you cannot achieve it. So you're in a constant state of winning. And that not only brings you closer to your long-term goal, but it also develops a much healthier and happier relationship with your long-term goal. Now, because today we're talking about long-term goals, I've created for you a very special worksheet, and this is the Small Wins worksheet that you can download over on my blog at oliviapinto.com/13 download. And you can download it for free. And once you click on the link, it will take you to my blog, in which you will see this video. And underneath the video, you will see a big green button. When you click on it, it will let you have access to the Small Wins worksheet, in which I break down every step, and you can actually print this page with every goal that you make, with every task that you make for every goal, and you can work it out and progress accordingly. Question for you: what do you do in order to get inspired when you're focusing on a long-term goal? Please write your answers in the comment section below. I would love to know, how do you remain inspired when you're working on a long-term goal? If you like this video and if you feel that it added some value to you, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends wherever they are in the world, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.